welcome to another video! Today I am bringing you another one of those incoherent book babbles. Today is going to be spectacularly incoherent because the book that I am talking to you about is one that I did not enjoy at all. So, as you can tell from the title of the video, I always do this as if you don't know what the book is, but you know what it is, you can see it down there. Given to the Sea by Mindy McGuinness. Yeah, didn't like this. Shall we begin? I gave this 1 star. That is the lowest rating I've given this year. It's the only book I've read this year that I've given 1 star. I've given one other book 2 stars, and that was a YouTuber book. That was The Pointless Book by Alfie Days. Not The Pointless Book, The Scrapbook of My Life by Alfie Days. Even that deserved 2 stars. This only got 1 from me. This book is about the sea wanting to eat people. Let's just read the back, shall we? Everyone has a place. The Given for the sea, the Prince for the kingdom, the Indiri for the earth, the Lithos for his people. Now the tides are changing, and the fates they thought they knew could be washed away. Okay, so the back kinda sounds alright. Like, it doesn't sound too awful. Like, from that you're a bit intrigued. Like, the Given for the sea? What's this? Given to the sea? Like, what? The cover's hideous, by the way. But yeah, no. This book is about Kosha, who is born to be sacrificed to the sea. That is her only purpose in life. The kingdom that she is born as a sacrifice for believes that every generation a woman must be sacrificed to the sea to stop the sea from, like, producing a tsunami, pretty much. Like, a deathly wave that will, like, kill them all and drown the kingdom. So that is Kosha's role. But where she's kept with her keepers, where they, like, train her to be the perfect sacrifice and whatever, is like invaded, and she runs away. Pretty much when she's given to the sea, her body is taken over by like some supernatural force, and she dances her way into the ocean and like can't save herself. Like, her body just does it, which to me is just like fucked up. But when her like home is invaded, the dance starts and she starts dancing into the sea, but she hasn't bred yet, so she hasn't. That annoyed me, like all of the like sexual, like the way she's treated. Yeah, she hasn't bred yet, she hasn't produced another Given, so she can't dance into the ocean yet until she's produced the next Given. So the prince of the kingdom stops her, like bruises her wrists, which is vital apparently, and drags her back to the kingdom because she hasn't bred yet, so she cannot be sacrificed. So they then like keep her in the castle, and she meets like royal people and stuff, and pretty much all this book is about is breeding Kosha, like putting a child in her so that she's ready to be sacrificed once she's given birth to a child. But Kosha won't breed, she hasn't chosen a mate, and like that's the one thing the Given gets in life. The Given gets to choose their own mate. And she hasn't chosen anyone because she cannot bear to be touched and stuff. Like, she hates the touch of humans on her, so she hasn't chosen a mate because she can't stand to be with anyone. So the king puts a price on her rape. Anyone who rapes her and impregnates her gets whatever they want, pretty much. Like, the king says, like, she needs to be bred, the sea grows restless, she needs to produce a child and she needs to go to the sea, so if you rape her and put a baby in her, I will give you whatever you want. Who is fucked up enough to write about that? So it's all about like saving her from her rapists because everyone wants to put a baby in her. There's lots of sexually wrong areas in this book, like things that shouldn't be written. But yeah, there is an attempted rape scene. There is lots of like sexual, what's the word I'm after? What am I trying to say? Harassment. Lots of sexual harassment. I didn't care for any of the characters, even, like, rape is not okay, but, like, even when Kosha was, like, nearly being raped in an underground tunnel, I was a bit like, eh. Like, I didn't have any feelings. I hadn't grown attached enough to Kosha to care. Like, obviously, rape is not okay, so I was a bit like, oh, he's a dick, isn't he, for trying to rape her. But it didn't provoke the emotion in me that I would have wanted a scene like that to provoke because I didn't care for the characters or the storyline. Or anything, to be honest. The characters were just flat, very two-dimensional. There was no character development that I noticed. Like, everyone was just meh. And the story seemed to not go anywhere. I was like 200 pages in and all they had discovered was sea levels are rising. So no, not for me. I don't even really want to get started on the love triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, whatever. There are so many like crossing paths of love interest, and I'm just like, no. So she loves him, but he loves her. She loves him, but he loves her. She loves him. He loves her, but she's also drawn to him. Like, I don't want to, like, if you plan on reading it, I don't want to give it away, but like, it's a bit like, yeah. A loves B and B loves C. C loves D and D loves C. But C is also drawn to B, who is very much drawn to A, and A wants to kill D. But then A is also in cahoots with, like, Z, like, way off. But Z also, there's just too much. It's too complex. No, complex isn't even the right word. It's not complex. It's just, there's so many, like, conflicting love interests that it's just bland. Like, I don't care. You're all being all over the place with whoever. Just stop. I don't care. In fact, that's how I felt about most of this book. I simply didn't care. The writing style was a pain to read. It was boring. I didn't care. Every chapter was from a different point of view, which really just snagged my interest. Like, one moment that I might be slightly interested in Kosha's story would go to someone else. Like, no, I don't care. And that story was Wit. Wit's story just got in the way. Wit is the lithos, and on the back it's the lithos is for his people. So he's like the ruler of like a neighbouring kingdom or something, and as a ruler it's his duty to send people to their death. That whole community, like the lithos, what they call the Pietra or something, that whole community was just like mad fucked up. To be honest, so was the main kingdom as well. Everything in this book was just mad fucked up, and I cared not for it. This is the first in a duology, I think. Needless to say, I will not be picking up the second one because I care not for it. Nor do I care for the characters, or the world, or the fate of these people at all. This was just a pain to read. Like, so many times throughout did I think, I just need to DNF it because I am bored and this is putting me in like a terrible reading place where I don't want to read, so just stop. But I pushed through and I finished it. And I'm just really excited to read something interesting now. So yeah, this was not for me. In all honesty, I'm not sure who it would be for. I had a little peek on the Goodreads thing. Its overall rating is like 3.5. So clearly there are more people that like it a bit than don't. But I did see an awful lot of 1 or 2 star reviews. So I just don't think this book is that great. That's a real disappointment because it was one of the books that I got from Fairy Loot, and I love Fairy Loot, and I've had a good time with other Fairy Loot books that I've read, but this one just absolutely let the team down. And I feel really sorry for anyone who had this box, I can't remember what month it was, but anyone that had the box that this came in for their first Fairy Loot box, to have this as the book, I think is just, I feel sorry for them because that may like taint their view of Fairy Loot in general because this book was terrible. It's a one-off. Fairy Loot normally do so much better with their book picks, but this was bad. I remember when I opened it I did say like the cover looked shit, but don't judge a book by its cover. No, the cover's shit, the book's shit, it's just not good. So yeah, that turned into a bit of a rant, didn't it? Might not be very coherent, but as I say, it's always an incoherent book babble here. Spectacularly incoherent because I didn't like it, and it's more of a rant than anything actually. Yeah, not for me. Didn't enjoy it. If you've read this book and you did enjoy it, terribly sorry that we have differing views, but you know, that's okay. If you liked it, I'm glad you liked it. I didn't, and that's okay as well. If you read this book and you didn't like it, then chat to me about it. Like, we can rant together because this was just bad. And I have seen that a lot of people actually did DNF this, so I don't know if everyone will, like everyone who has claimed it as read will actually know how it ends or care, but yeah, bad book. There we go. If you have enjoyed this incredibly incoherent rant babble about this book, then give us a thumbs up. Chat to me down in the comments about this book, about what I should read next to make me feel better, because this just put me in a bad place. Then please chat to me down below. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I'm always eternally grateful for that. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday and some odd days in between if I'm feeling generous, and I will see you next time. Bye!